Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. For this one I am doing my first hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon game. I've seen many videos about hardcore Nuzlockes online and finally decided to give a shot to one myself. For this one I picked Pokemon Blue from the Gen 1. Main reason for this was that I decided to start this challenge in the middle of other videos / playthroughs I had going for this channel, which meant that I was being rather busy with everything else. So being able to get an emulator to my phone and play from there with any free time I had made it possible for me to play the game in shortest possible time. Well, it still took me 4 months. Anyway, so if you're wondering why footage here might be a bit rough, it's because I recorded the footage straight from my phone. Short recap for rules of this challenge. I can only catch first Pokemon in any route / area I encounter, and I have to nickname every Pokemon. If Pokemon faints, it is considered dead and must be removed from team, which I decided to do by moving any fainted Pokemon to dedicated box in PC. Hardcore rule set adds level caps, so I cannot overlevel my team over the next gym leader's strongest Pokemon, and also no healing items are allowed during battles, only in overworld. Anyway, let's not waste any more time and just get straight to the point. For the starter for this one I chose Bulbasaur, which I nicknamed Vegzilla. First fight with rival is pretty straightforward win, so nothing much to say about that. Skipping through the obligational back and forthing, I start heading onwards. From the route 1 I catch this Rattata, which I nicknamed Plague. From second route I catch Pidgey, which I named Sackchip, as I pretty much always do. On route towards the Pokemon League I accidentally killed this Nidara encounter. Oh well, can't help with random crits. Onwards to Pewter City I encountered this Metapod in the Viridian Forest. This encounter is actually worse than Caterpie or Weedle would be, as wild Metapods and Kakunas only knows Harden, which makes them annoying to level up. Well, I get another critical hit to kill this Metapod anyway, so it didn't really matter anyway then. After getting to Pewter City and a little grinding session I go take on the first gym. To no one's surprise, it is really easy with Bulbasaur. Against Brock himself, Vegzilla one-shots both his Pokemon and that's that. One round later, where I caught Clefairy, which I named Fury Ball, and I arrived to Mount Moon. Here I catch Zubat, naming it Robin. I also bought the Magikarp from the dude at the Poké Center for the heck of it, naming it Derp. Vegzilla has also evolved to Ivysaur, giving us a bit easier time to get through the Mount Moon. Trailing goes mostly smoothly, then this Team Rocket Crunch Raticate kills Robin with critical Hyper Fang. Honestly, doesn't sting that bad though, as Zubat is kinda bad Pokemon anyway. Man, this Raticate is dangerous with its Hyper Fang. Thankfully I got through it without losing anyone else. Also, I'm not telling you which fossil I took, so you can ask it in the comments, cause that's good for the algorithm. After a rather long grinding session, I go battle the rival for the first proper rival battle. We both lead with Pidgeotto, and after an exchange of attacks, Sackchip takes victory with critical hit. Out comes Abra, which does not know any attacking moves, so it's easy to take out. Rattata is a 2-shot, and lastly out comes Charmander. I send in Plague, who barely takes the win. A bit risky, but that's good enough for me. Next we head upwards to Nugget Bridge. Naturally I need to get to Bill to get the ticket to SSN, and this part works well on getting some levels to my team. I also encounter Abra here, which is quite rare, but fail to catch it unfortunately. After rescuing Bill from his predicament, it is time to take on the second gym. Again, it's pretty easy with Vegzilla as it deals with trainers quickly. Against Misty, Staryu is 2-shot with Wire Whip, and against Starmie I play more carefully with using Leech Seed to keep Vegzilla healthy. Thankfully Starmie just used some tackles and misused 1x defend at the end for some reason. The AI is just very dumb in Gen 1, but that's not really a surprise. Hilarious though from time to time. Moving forward, Plague has evolved now to Raticate, and from route before Vermilion City I catch the Spellsprout, which I nicknamed to Flower Power. Once in Vermilion I box the Clefairy, as I am not using it at all at the moment. I then head to the Diglett tunnel to catch a Diglett. Diglett could probably handle the next gym to me quite easily, and I also find this Sandshrew, but I accidentally kill it with a critical hit. You know, this is starting to happen way too often. Next up I head to the SSN. I don't bother battling trainers here, cause I don't want to exceed the level cap accidentally, so it's straight to the rival battle. Once again it's Pidgeotto Mirror Match, which Sackchip handles after a while. Next up is Raticate, and I switch in Vegzilla. Couple of Vine Whips deals with Raticate, and in comes Kadabra. Vegzilla takes Confusion but deals really bad damage with Vine Whip. I switch in Vole, the Diglett, and for some reason Kadabra uses Teleport. And again, very smart indeed. One dig from Vole deals with Kadabra. In comes Charmeleon, and it almost goes down with one dig. Next one takes it out, and that's the battle. We got the cut from the captain with some questionable methods, and I teach it to Flower Power, so it's time now to take on the third gym. Vole handles the trainers with dig so easily, I hope the search won't pose much of a challenge as well. So, battle time, and search starts with Voltorb. One dig takes it out, and in comes Pikachu. It goes down as well with one dig. For some reason, Raichu tries to use Nuzlocke against wall and it goes down with one dig as well. Well, that was so easy, but then again, dig is OP in Gen 1 as its base power is 100. Now, I begin my journey towards the rock tunnel. On route right from Cerulean I catch Spearow, which I probably won't need, but it's there for backup in case I lose Sack Chip at any point. Also, for some reason Blake can learn Bubble Beam, so I just teach it to it for some water coverage. Though, I accidentally replace Hyper Fang with it, because I'm a pro Pokemon gamer like that. Then I meet this Geodude who self-destructs against Blake, but thankfully it barely leaves it. Phew, that was a close one. Before the rock tunnel I catch this Sandshrew, which goes to Chill the Box as well. Rock tunnel kinda sucks without flash as it's pitch black and I haven't played enough Gen 1 to remember the layout without seeing where to go. So off I am to wander around randomly and hoping to get through somehow. And there's another Geodude who self-destructs on me and Vegeta leaves it with 5 HP. Okay, this is not funny anymore. But hey, after a forever of switch training, Derp finally evolves to Gyarados. He only learns Bite upon evolving, but it's something at least. Finally, I arrive to Lavender Town and I go take on the next rival fight next. Derp takes out Pidgeotto with a couple of bites. Execute hits Blake with Hypnosis, but I get early wake up and a couple of quick attacks take it down. Against Gyarados, I change to Vegeta. This thing has a Dragon Rage, which is very bad as it always deals 40 damage. I have to sacrifice Flower Power here to get safe switch to Derp, who has most HP. Thankfully, enemy Gyarados does not use any more Dragon Rages and I take it out. In comes Kadabra, who starts teleporting again. It goes down pretty quickly. Charmeleon goes down with 2 digs, though it was pretty close on taking out Wall. Next I start heading to left from Lavender Town. Here my encounter is Meowth, but again I accidentally kill it. Anyway, nothing much happens on the way to Celadon. Once I arrive there I go grab the EV, which you can get there. I name it Natsu as I am going to evolve it to Flareon to have a fire type for my team. Which I merely do as I can buy required Firestone from the department store. After shopping a while I go to fight the Rocket Grunt in the Game Corner building. This reveals their hideout here in Celadon, so let's just go see what's up with this place. Well, it does not end up being too difficult. Couple of close calls here and there, but mostly Grunt's there goes down quickly. So let's just get to the first Giovanni fight of the game. He starts with Onix, which is one-shotted by Vegeta, same for the Rhydon coming in next. Kangaskhan deals a lot of damage to Vegeta, so I switch out to Derp. I get some hits in, but situation is getting dire. I switch in Blake, who took down the Kangaskhan with quick attack. Giovanni makes his escape and I grab the Seal Scope. Next up, I head to take on the Celadon Gym. Poison shenanigans is annoying, but I can get through the trainers just fine. For the Erika herself, I lead with Derp against her Wick Triple. Razor Leaf gets a crit of course and Dragon Rage takes out about the half of Wick Triple's HP. Another crit from Razor Leaf and another Dragon Rage don't quite finish job, so I switch out to Vegeta to resist upcoming attacks. Wick Triple goes for Poison Powder, which of course does not work, and I finish it off with Cut. Next in comes Tangela and I immediately poison it with Poison Powder. I then switch to Blake and then start chipping away Tangela's HP. After many quick attacks, poison damage and one super pose later, Tangela goes down. Last Pokemon is Vileplume. I use Dig while it missed Petal Dance. Dig does not do much damage and Blake leaves Petal Dance with 1 freaking HP. That was way too close. I switch in Vegeta to tank some hits. I whittle Vileplume's HP with Cuts and soon Vileplume gets confused for using Petal Dance. With that, Vileplume takes itself out and I win the battle. Alright, halfway there with the gyms at least. Next up, I head to the Pokemon Tower to save the old man from Team Rocket. Here I catch Ghastly, which I nickname Blech. Yep, I'm out of nickname ideas. Also, Wall evolves to Dugtrio, which is nice. The Ghost Marowak is easy fight with couple of digs and Rocket Crunch don't offer challenge either, so I quickly get through and save Mr. Fuji. From him I get the Poke Flute, which I can use to wake some sleeping Snorlaxes. I go get the Fly HM to teach it to Sack Chip and afterwards I then wake the other Snorlax and catch it. I name it Subbers and add it to my team. Sorry Blake, but it's time to make way for stronger Pokemon. I then get a drink for this man here so that he allows me to go to Saffron City. I do not go Saffron just yet though, but instead I will take the cycling road towards the Fuchsia City. At this point there is a bit weird situation where level cap for the next gyms is same, so in that regard it does not really matter in which order I would take on the gyms. But for now I want to get some levels to my guys, so I'm going to go around the Kanto a bit to fight trainers. Unfortunately I screw up fighting against this random Weezing and it ends up taking out Derp with a crit. Funny how I can get through the more important fights with no issues, then fail against a random trainer. Sorry Derp, you really were doing a good job but I failed you in the end. Rest in peace. For now I take from box to team to get 6 full members again and get back to exploring. After venturing around Fuchsia City a bit, I enter the Saffron City. Time to go handle with the Team Rocket in Sylph Go. Well, almost. This renegade decides to be absolutely brutal and just kill off wall. I have to start to pull off my A game here, it seems. I continue my way with team of 5 and get switch trained to evolve to Haunter. After dealing with all the enemies here, there would be a rival fight and a fight against Giovanni still remaining. But I am not ready to take on the rival here yet. Instead I head to Fuchsia to handle some stuff there. I catch this execute in Separate Zone, but it's going to get boxed immediately. Next I head to the right side route from the Fuchsia to fight the trainers and get some levels for the team. Sackchip evolves to Pidgeot and Vegilla had already evolved to Venusaur earlier. I also catch this Goldeen and name it Ariel, thinking that it could replace Derp as a new water type. Alright, time to take on the rival on Sylph Scope. He leads with Pidgeot and I send him to whom I have taught Thunderbolt. Critical hit takes out the Pidgeot. Execute comes in and I send out Natsu. I have Ember now, which is not really that strong, but at least it is a fire type move and it takes out Execute in 2 hits. Next is Gyarados and I send in Hydro Pump misses luckily and 1 Thunderbolt takes out Gyarados. Alakazam comes out and I send in Chabbers. Psybeam does a lot of damage with critical hit and next Confusion almost takes out Chabbers, but I get strength through even though being confused. I switch in Natsu and take a hit, Quick Attack finishes off Alakazam and in comes Charizard. I send in Sackchip as enemy's Leer fails. Fly does okay damage and Charizard of course gets a crit with Slash. Sackchip survives another critical slash and third fly almost finishes off Charizard. Quick Attack does the trick and I win the battle. Before fighting Giovanni, I go take on the Fighting Dojo for some experience. I also caught this Staryu earlier and replaced Ariel with it as I think it could be better option as water type. But then I remembered the Lapras you can get in Sylph Scope, so I scrapped that and named it Atlas. That ice typing is going to help out a lot in Pokemon League. Time to take on the Giovanni for the second time in this game. He leads with Nidorino. Vegilla tanks its hit and takes it out after a while. Next up is Kangaskhan and I go with Leech Seed. First one missed but second one lands. Razor Leaf gets a crit, next one misses and then Kangaskhan goes down to Leech Seed damage. Rhyhorn is one shot with Mega Drain and I get my HP recovered. Razor Leaf crits 2 times against Nidoking and Cut finishes it off. Indeed Giovanni, you have lost again. Next I head to take on Fuchsia City Gym. Trainers here are nothing special, so let's just get straight to Goga. He starts with Coughing and I send in Natsu. Goga uses X attack on first turn, but Sludge still does not hurt me too much and Natsu takes Coughing down quickly. Next in comes Mach and I send in Vegilla. Sludge does decent damage to me and I go with Leech Seed. I then send him to resist poison attacks and I go with Nightshade and slowly whittle away Mach's HP with help of Leech Seed. Another X attack is used by Goga, but Mach goes down on very next turn. In comes another Coughing and I send in Sackchip. Fly is a 3-hit KO. Goga really likes to spam those X attacks for some reason, which makes this battle just easier. Last Pokemon is Weezing and I send in Vegilla to use Leech Seed, and then I send planning to use same kind of strategy as with Mach. Yet another X attack is used. Man, Goga really has a lot of them. I tested out Thunderbolt and it does decent damage, then I get critical hit to finish Weezing off, winning me a battle. Alright, well let's keep this boss rush going and take on Sabrina. She starts with Kadabra and I send in Sackchip. One fly takes it down. Next in comes Mr. Mime who sets up a barrier which is a bit annoying. 2 flies takes it down anyway. Next in comes Venomoth which goes down with 1 fly thankfully. Last one is Alakazam which Sackchip takes down in 2 hits. That was much easier than expected. Thankfully that Alakazam only used Psywave against us, that pretty much sealed its fate. Next up I start to head to Cinnabar Island for the next gym. Honestly, nothing too interesting happens on the way. I fight all the traders on the way to get levels to Atlas as I need it for against Blaine. For the lols I caught Articuno with Master Ball, but naturally I won't be using it as that would be against the rules, as it was not my first encounter in the area. Before the fire gym I need to explore through the Pokemon Mansion. Again, nothing interesting happened here regarding the challenge, I just get some items and key to get to the gym itself, and I also did good amount of grinding here for Atlas. But without further ado, let's just get to the Blaine fight. You can already guess that it will be a pretty hilarious one if you know how Blaine likes to act in these original Gen 1 games. So, Blaine starts with Growlithe, and I naturally send in Atlas. 1 Surf takes it down. Then Blaine proceeds to use Super Potion to Ponyta which has full HP. Yeah, that's Blaine for ya. Surf takes out Ponyta and in comes Rapidash. Fire Spin traps us which prevents us from attacking for a while. Blaine uses this time very well and uses not one but 2 super potions to Rapidash. There must be some hidden brilliance here that I'm just missing. Once we break free from Fire Spin, one Surf takes out Rapidash. Arcanine actually leaves one Surf, and this time Blaine uses super potion actually when Pokemon has taken damage. Unfortunately for him, it does not heal enough, and next Surf takes out Arcanine, winning me the battle. Yeah, this endgame is just pretty much of a boss rush, so let's just get to the final gym battle against Giovanni. He starts with Rhyhorn, which Atlas takes out with one Surf. Dugtrio only uses Growl, which does not matter to Atlas, and one Surf takes Dugtrio out as well. Nidoqueen also goes down with one Surf, as well as the Nidoking, who uses only Tackle against us. Out of all the possible moves, Giovanni chose Tackle. Man, Gen 1 is interesting. Upcoming Rhydon goes also down with one Surf, and that's the final gym beaten. Alright, so next up is one final rival fight before the victory road and getting to Pokemon League. Honestly, at the moment my team is quite underleveled, so I am going to do a lot of grinding before I'm going to take him on. So for this point of video, I would just like to thank you all for watching. If you want to see more Pokemon stuff here on my channel, like the video and comment down your thoughts about what kind of Pokemon content you would like to see in the future. Also, if you are a new viewer here, remember to subscribe. But anyway, let's get to that rival fight. So, as usual, rival starts with Pidgeot and I send him. Pidgeot only uses Agility and it goes down in 2 hits. Against Rhydon, I send him with Chilla. Rhyhorn uses freaking Tail Whip of all things and I take it out with the Razor Leaf. Against Execute, I send in Natsu, who avoids Lead Seed. He tries to go for Solar Beam but goes down with 2 Embers. For Gyarados, I change back to who takes the Dragon Rage. Okay. One Thunderbolt takes out Gyarados and I send in Jabberus against the Alakazam. Psychic is immediate crit and it almost takes out Jabberus, so I have to make another switch and send out Atlas. This turn Alakazam goes for Recover, which in this case does nothing. Psybeam does not hurt me much, but Ice Beam also doesn't deal much damage to Alakazam. Strength is a bit better, but not enough. Alakazam also just used Recover to heal itself. Atlas barely takes a Psychic and finishes Alakazam with next Strength, thankfully. Last one is Charizard and I switch to Sack Chip. I get crit with the Fly and Charizard uses Rage, which can turn scary if it can build that stronger. Thankfully though, a couple more Flies takes it out and I win the battle. Alright, off I am to march to Pokemon League. Of course I just have to get through Victory Road, which can sometimes be challenging. This time though, all goes good, no deaths against trainers or wild Pokemon here. For the Elite Four though, my team is definitely underleveled. For this whole challenge, I haven't had the need to go all the way to level cap to win battles, but highest level for League Champion is 65, so I definitely need to get my team much stronger. But I decided to not go all the way to level cap again, just for extra challenge. I still got all my team members to level 60, and with that, let's go take on the Elite Four. First up is Lorelei. She sends in Dewgong and I go with to almost one-shot it with Thunderbolt. Dewgong immediately went with Rest to heal up. Next 2 attacks takes it out and in comes Cloyster. I misclick Nightshade here, but Aurora Beam is not hurting me too much. I misclick Nightshade again, but thankfully Lorelei just uses Super Potion. After misclicking Nightshade 3rd freaking time, it is luckily enough to take out Cloyster. Damn, that was stupid. It's thankfully in good shape and in comes Slowbro. Critical Thunderbolt takes out Slowbro in 1 hit, which is incredibly lucky. That thing could have caused problems for me otherwise. Next in comes Jinx and I switch to Natsu, who takes Double Slap okay. I go with newly learned Flamethrower and it takes Jinx out. Last one is Lapras and I switch back to who gets confused right away. It hit itself, but Lapras tries to go with Confuse Ray again for some reason. Next turn Thunderbolt hits for good damage. Here I hope Nightshade would be enough to beat Lapras, but that was a silly risk for me to take and it leaves. It still goes for Confuse Ray though, and next Nightshade takes it off. First member defeated and next up is Bruno. Bruno starts the fight with Onix and I send in Vigilla. One Razor Leaf takes out the Onix and in comes Hitmonchan. I go for Razor Leaf again and critical hit takes it out. Literally same happens with Hitmonlee. Man, Vigilla is sweeping here. Another Onix, another Razor Leaf takedown and last one up is Machamp. It leaves one Razor Leaf but uses only Focus Energy and goes down with next one. Man, Bruno is so easy with Venusaur, especially with Razor Leaf that crits all the time. Next up is Agatha, who starts fight with Gengar and I send in Sack Chip. I go for Fly and Gengar's Hypnosis miss. Wing Attack finishes the job and in comes Golbat. I go for Fly again and Wing Attack does nothing to Sack Chip. Next Fly takes it out and in comes Haunter. Then Agatha switches it to Arbok for some reason and it takes a lot of damage from Fly. However, it paralyzes Pidgeot with Glare and uses Bite for some damage. Sackchip gets flinch and I don't wanna get stuck with paraflinch shenanigans, so I switch out to Chubbers. Acid does not hurt that much and Glare misses. Body Slam takes out the Arbok and in comes Haunter. I switch to Natsu while Haunter's Dream Meter does nothing as I am not asleep. I go with Flamethrower and take Nightshade. Getting that burn does not really matter here as next Flamethrower takes Haunter out anyway. Last up is another Gengar. Another Dream Meter fails and Flamethrower does good damage. And yet another Dream Meter is used in vain and Natsu takes out the Gengar, winning the battle. I've talked a lot about this AI on this video, but I just gotta mention again how easy it makes this game from time to time. Alright, last one before the champion is Lance, and this battle is why I wanted to have Lapras. But first, let's one-shot this Gyarados with and then send in Lapras. Slam does minimal damage and Ice Beam one-shots Dragonair. Another Dragonair, Aerodactyl and Dragonite. Yep, easy as that, Lapras OP. Time for final battle is upon me. Let's see if I have what it takes to finish this hardcore Nuzlocke challenge. So yeah, our rival is the champion, and he again starts with Pidgeot. Thunderbolt takes it out with one go, and in comes Alakazam. This thing is one thing that can screw us over, so I have to be careful here. I send in Sackchip, and Psychic hurts me a lot. I have to start attacking, so I go with Fly. It does good damage, and Psybeam does not quite take down Sackchip. Wing Attack is enough to finish the job. Next, in comes Rhydon, and I send in Atlas. Clear Attack misses, and Surf takes out Rhydon. Next in comes Executor and I go straight for Ice Beam. Unfortunately, it is not enough for one shot and Executor's Hypnosis hit Atlas, putting it to sleep. And Atlas just decided to never wake up, which caused it to take a lot of damage here. In the end, I have to switch out and I send in Natsu. Another Hypnosis hits. This sucks, and of course Natsu is not waking up no matter how long I wait. In the end, Natsu goes down without dealing any damage. This is rough. I send in Sackchip to outspeed and finish this Executor off with Wing Attack. Next in comes Gyarados and I decided that I will weaken it with Sackchip to get safe switch to if Sackchip goes down. It almost takes out Gyarados, but then Hyper Beam takes out Sackchip. But now can come in to finish the Gyarados. For Charizard I go straight with Thunderbolt and it almost takes out the Charizard. It actually paralyzes Charizard as well, making it unable to attack, and other Thunderbolt finishes the job, winning me the battle and finishing this challenge. Okay, so that was maybe a bit easier in the end than I expected. There was some rough spots here and there, but I am very happy that I succeeded with this one. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this, and if you have any suggestions about what Pokemon game I should try to hardcore Nuzlocke next, let me know in the comments. But hey, this is all for now. Thank you guys for watching, I will see you in the future videos. For now it's bye bye.